Welcome to 6 Minutes. Today I'm here with Stanford's Logan Ashton. Hey, Logan.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. So, 2022 National Qualifier. How's that sound? How does that make you feel?
It's great. It's exciting. I've had the goal to be a national qualifier and All-American national champion since I was 12 years old. So the first step is to get there. You can't be an All-American national champion without getting to the tournament. So yeah, just really excited. Ready to go to Detroit. You know, I've been pumped for a week now and just ready to get out there.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, it's got to be so exciting to, take third at Pac, in the Pac-12, and, you realize, you punched your ticket and so on and so forth. So how's been kind of the mindset all season of, I mean, I know you've been focused on it, but, have you been working on any particular things? Have you, what's kind of been the grind all season long?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think my season's been a lot different than a lot of people's. Obviously, it's a long season, it's 6 months, 7 months, 8 months long, plus preseason. You're training all summer. But I've been dealing with some injuries. I feel like a lot of people have known I haven't wrestled. I didn't wrestle before the Pac-12 since Southern Scuffle,
Right.
since New Year's. Because I've been dealing with a couple injuries, one from preseason. Obviously, I'm not going to say what that is. We got one more
Right.
tournament to go, and then one recently. So I've been dealing with that. But yeah, just a lot of ups and downs. My big focus this year has been scoring more on my feet. I've always been, great top bottom wrestler, but a lot of people that know me know that I have a hard time scoring on my feet. My defense has always been great, but that's kind of been my focus, more leg attacks, scoring more on my feet, getting my offense.
Yeah. So I'm glad you brought up the challenges, because I mean, this year has been a bit of a challenge, and it is for any college wrestler. I mean, you could go through a lot of different things, but even over the last 2 years, you battled some injuries, the program was in doubt, all these different things. I'm just wondering kind of how you kind of maintained your focus on, trying to get to the next step. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last year was kind of a completely different challenge because the program was in doubt, and I moved up a weight class. I was focusing more on school last year in case the program didn't come back, so that I could potentially graduate and go somewhere else. So this year it's kind of been a little more focused on wrestling, but obviously having to deal with injuries. But yeah, I'm thankful that we're here. Obviously, if we didn't get the program back last year, I wouldn't be in this position to be able to go to the national tournament. So I'm obviously really thankful for our alumni and our previous coaching staff, getting the program back, so that I have a chance. Right.
Yeah. And you worked so hard. I mean, all the wrestlers worked so hard. The alumni worked so hard. You mentioned the former coaching staff, and then you get a new coaching staff come in. I mean, that's a lot to deal with in a short amount of time. So I think how's it been getting used to kind of Coach Cole and that new staff? It's always a great opportunity to get to learn from somebody new, but it is different. They don't know you, like they didn't recruit you. So
Yeah. It's been great. I love the new coaches. Obviously love the old coaching staff too. All of them sent me a great text. They were watching the third, fourth match from their conference tournaments, and then obviously Nate Engel was there at Oregon State, so
right.
that was great. But still, I love the new coaching staff. Grant Leith is my boy. He's always in the corner getting pumped for me. But yeah, it's definitely was a quick transition because they got hired over the summer. We kind of didn't know what we were doing for summer training, so we kind of had to figure that out, and it's kind of been a whirlwind getting used to them. But I think they've done a great job. Obviously, they've taken us in and love us, and really push us to be our best. So
yeah. So go away from wrestling just real quick and just talk about school. I mean, Stanford is one of those slacker schools, so
Yep,
Um,
it is.
the ability to maintain the balance between wrestling and academics has been a challenge, has been fun, has been what how would you characterize it?
I think it's always a challenge. I think it was more of a challenge last year for me just because I was taking extra classes in order to graduate early. So my course load has been significantly less this year than it was last year just because of that. But it's always a challenge, especially for us. We're on the quarter system. We have finals week this week of NCAAs. So I was telling you before we started recording that I'm actually taking a final on Monday, and then we're leaving to go to NCAAs on Tuesday. A couple of my teammates will actually be taking exams while we're in Detroit. Our coaching staff is going to have to proctor some exams, so that's tough for us. But we get it done. We wouldn't have got recruited to Stanford if we didn't have the grades in high school and we didn't work at it. So
Yeah. I mean, you've obviously been very adept at being able to balance those things. So do you have you've been there for a little while. Do you have a favorite class? Do you have a class that's kind of really inspired you and you really kind of are looking forward to kind of continue down a particular path? Or
yeah, so one class that I actually started taking in the fall, like I said, we're on the quarter system, so I've taken it now fall and winter, and I'll be taking it again in the spring. It's this class called Psych 189. It's a practicum about the Stanford Center on Longevity. Basically, it's about expanding our lifespans and our health spans over time. Basically, living longer and living healthier.
Mhm.
Um, so their main focus, obviously, we want to live to be 100 plus years old, but we also want to be healthy. We don't want to be sitting in a wheelchair for the last 20 years of our lives. So I've gotten to do a lot of work with them, a lot of social media posts, a lot of research. So that's been very interesting and fun for me, and I'm
Yeah,
ready to
you,
take that class again.
you throw out a lot of questions to us, and I know I've responded to a few of them, and I know you've gotten responses from others. Um, do is there anything that you were surprised about with kind of people's responses as some of those questions or anything like that?
Um, well, I guess some surprising things are people just don't know a whole lot about our health. Like people like obviously know that they should exercise and eat healthy.
Right.
But people don't really know that, you should go outside and get sun every day, that you need to focus on childhood education as that's a big factor in your economic wealth and your well-being later on in life.
Hmm.
Um, People don't know that you need 3 positive social interactions a day to have a positive impact on your health. That's one of the big things that I've learned. A lot of older people, elderly people live by themselves or live in a nursing home, and they don't meet a lot of people. Or if they have an interaction, it's just oh, this is my food. Someone's giving you food, or it's not positive. It's not, oh,
Right.
how are you, and having
Right.
a positive conversation. So that's one thing I've learned that's really interesting, that helps our health and longevity over time.
So is that going to be your focus? Like, is that what you're going to get I know your bachelor's is what, psych? So it's down
Yeah.
this path. So is that going to be your focus, is longevity and long-term health and things along those lines?
I don't really know just yet. This summer, I'm actually really interested in finance and obviously, psychology. So this summer, I'm going to be working in private equity for this mental health company called Zinnia Health. So it's going to be a kind of a combination of both. It's going to be the finance side, but also the mental health aspect. So I'm super excited for that. Obviously, I'm still a junior, so I'm trying to figure things out. But
Yeah. I just was curious. I mean, it's so
mm,
interesting. You kind of get interactions with different professors, or you know, you learn about something and it kind of is fun to kind of say, oh, that kind of sparks an interest in me. So
mhm.
um so going back to wrestling, and we'll kind of just wrap it up so that I don't keep you too long. I don't want Coach Cole to say something about you not being a practice or something. I know you wouldn't let that happen. um so focus on this coming week. You know, Jackson's been there, Jaden and and Shane, is there any chat or talk about kind of how to prepare for the week coming in, or is that they just kind of let you do your thing?
It's a little bit of both. Our coaching staff is very free in letting us do kind of what we need to do, kind of on an individual basis. But obviously, there's been talk about what we need to do. Basically, their gist is the work's done. We need to get to the national tournament healthy and feeling good. There's no point in doing 25 down and back sprints right now. If you're not in shape now, you're not going to be in shape in a week.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of our main focus right now, just kind of fine tuning the details and getting to the national tournament healthy and feeling good.
So, I mean, it's cliche to say, one match at a time and all those sorts of things, but it is a cliche for a reason because, that is your focus. And the thing I'm really most interested in is that I think that you look at the bracket, I mean, except for maybe two guys in the bracket or something, everybody is so close. I mean, it comes down to a takedown. It comes down to the smallest details of making something happen. So how do you focus on that next match, and then how do you focus on the details of kind of making sure that you come out on top? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's what makes the D1 level so hard is that everybody is so close. There's so many 1 point matches, 2 point matches. There's a lot of guys that have 1 or 2 point matches with NCAA qualifiers and they don't make it to the tournament. That's just how tough it is. But you just have to kind of focus on yourself. What positions you're good at. You can't really focus on this guy's got a good single leg or whatever. Obviously, you can scout a little bit, but it's more just focus on yourself. And then like you said, one match at a time. Doesn't matter if you make it to the quarterfinals. It doesn't matter if you're thinking about the quarterfinals and you lose in the round of 16. You got win the match in front of you.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of what I'm focusing on right now is just one match at a time, focusing on myself.
Cool. Any message back to the Buford crew? They wrestled pretty good this past season.
They wrestled okay. No, they wrestled really great. Yeah, I really like the incoming class that they have, the freshman class. I think they're going to be hammers. They're already hammers, but they're going to be even better in the years to come. So I like going back and beating up on those guys. So yeah.
All right, that's awesome. Yeah, no, and this coming year is going to be a lot of fun because I think they move up and they might have Camden and that sort of thing. So do you pay attention to much of what's going on back here in Georgia while you're out there? Or
yeah, I talk to Coach Bugles all the time. Obviously we had a great relationship in high school and still do. So I try to help them as much as I can. Obviously they're going to have a tall task in Camden, but I think arguably those are the two top teams in the state, regardless of classification. So
yeah,
it'll be exciting for them.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Logan, I appreciate you taking the time, and best of luck in Detroit, man. We're all going to be cheering for you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.